Okay, so good evening, everybody. Good evening. How are you today? I hope you are all here. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, just keep a comment, comment how you are feeling. Comment any emoji on how you are feeling today. Comment on how you are feeling today. How you are feeling today. Let's go there. Let's go there. All right. So good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining today's program. Welcome to Creative Conference 2025. I'm so glad that you're here. And this is the first edition of the Creative Conference. And trust me, against some play. Okay, so let us pray. Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you everyone to the way that you are going to be with us. Teach us our ways, teach us what we learn in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so welcome everybody to this program today. Welcome to Creative Conference, right? Title Freedom Creative Shaping What's Next. Shaping What's Next. Alright? So briefly I'm going to taking us through on what the Creative Conference is all about. So the Creative Conference is a gathering designed to empower and feed kingdom-minded creatives, right? So it brings together visionary leaders, innovators, digital creators from all around the world to explore creativity and use as a powerful force for kingdom impact, right? So that's basically what it's about. So the conference ignites passion and purpose, helping the participants to see their gifts as a tool for influence and transformation. So through our personal education, attendees are going to gain relevant skills, industrial strategies, and insights on how to shape our cultural landscape. Right? So the conference also serves as a networking hub. Yes, fostering genuine connections and then collaboration between the global Christian creative community. So that's just basically what the creative conference is all about. So now, these conferences are based on some rules, right? So we have some rules that we are set out that at the end of this conference you are made to achieve. So these goals are achieved in your life, meaning that the aim of conference has been set apart. So number one, I have inspiration, right? So it's a grind a passion for using creativity for the human part. So at the end of this conference, our aim is that you be inspired the passion to use creativity, explore, and make impact for the kingdom united in you. So that's one. The second one is the education to teach skills, strategies, and insights from top creatives. So I think this program has a page two where I'm going to be taught skills that are relevant in industry, skills that is going to help you make your own ends meet, and then going to help you also become creative also. So we have lined up industrial creatives and to teach us on different skills that current skills that are trending. Yeah, so that's number two. Then number three is networking. So the goal of this skill also connects creative right around the world. So as in this program, connect to other people, connect to other people that creative like you, connect with them, build things, network with them, and then build things that are going to help us in the future. Then we have the fourth one, which is the activation part. Now, the activation part of this goal is to encourage participants to start projects or join the creative movement. So if they have not been part of any creative movement or they are not part of the journey that is are going to done. So it's really part is serving as an insight for you to learn. It's also serving as let's say sensitization for you to know what is going on currently, and then for you to also leverage on these skills for yourself. So now that with this I've been able to teach us on what the creative company is all about. So for this 2025, our theme for this year is Kingdom Creative Shaping What's Next. So a lot is going to happen next 2026, and I believe that we all should keen to what will happen next year. And the best way for you to win 2026 is best strategically planning for this now. That is another reason why this conference is set out for us. 2026 is going to be another powerful year, And I know that some of us, in the beginning of 2025, did New Year resolution, New Year plan, things are going to do and everything. And if you come out of the remote today, trust me, you might check, and check, and there are some pretty important things that you haven't done. So this conference is going to help us set your mind, going to help and keep you straight, going to help and fuel your energy for next year because you know what's happening next year. And first, you don't want to miss it. You don't want this year to be the same as it was for you. So next year will be like this year for you. So all right, our next session is the keynote section. We are going to dive into things right now. So we are going to discuss a very important topic. Very important topic that starts from our mindset. Our mindset as a founder. Our mindset as a founder. That we'll discuss now. And we have three wise men, three wise founders that are going to bring to us on startup mindset. The mindset as a startup founder. So I want you to be relaxed. I want you to bring up your energy as we're going to bring in these three great men who have built successful brands online and who have built career in gaming industries. Right? I'm going to introduce them one after the other. So the first speaker we have Mr. Ben, and he's a data-driven problem solver passionate about building practical analysis solutions that enhance customer experience and business efficiency. His hands-on experience in data strategy, automation, and customer engagement system, Benny bridges the gap between technical insights and real-world impact. His work focuses on turning complex data into clear, actionable decisions that drive measurable growth. So that's one out of the three wise men. I'm going to be doing the autography of the second person, which is Mr. Shitu Olumide. So Mr. Shitu Olumide is a software engineer and data scientist working at the intersection of AI, LLMs, and developers. He builds intelligent systems that builds data pipelines, model inference, and real-world applications. I write technical skills and practical ways to bring AI into engineering. Wow, that's very interesting. We are bringing men of capacity into this, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Now, we have the third person, which is Mr. Elijah Absolutely. Yes. So, Mr. Elijah Absolutely is a software engineer and technical writer with experience building products like ngmarket.com and speedgraph.io and writing for platforms such as Lilo, Hackmamba, and Log Rockets. He's writing in JavaScript, TypeScript, Java, SQL, creating tools used by thousands of articles read widely across the developers community. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have three awesome wise men are going to be taking us on the startup mindset. And with a clap motivation, I don't know where I am, use the energy, use the comment section, give us the energy. Let's see the fire emoji, let's see the fire emoji everywhere. Let's see the fire emoji that you are excited to have on the stage. Let's see the fire emoji everywhere. So let's welcome Mr. Ben, Mr. Shitu Olumide, and Mr. Elijah Asu.
Hello everyone. Can everybody hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you from mine.
Okay, how about Olumide? Hi Olumide. Okay, so good everyone. Our host has already basically told us everything about what today's program will be about. So for today we will just be looking at, we'll be talking about the startup mindset. And today we have two people. We have Elijah and also Chisom and Olivia as well. So they have a startup, a web scraping startup, which they built and they started, correct me if I'm wrong, I think earlier this year. And so they'll tell us about, yeah, from the idea, getting the idea, to even getting into tech or getting into data analysis or their journey so far, and tell us about the startup and what it does and challenges, the benefits, and basically just the journey. So after that, they will have if you have questions, you can also just drop in the comment section and I'll be able to answer that question. All right, so I don't know if that goes maybe not. Just get some comments to go there. All right, so one thing's up, we'll start with a very simple question. Media and Elijah will just tell us about themselves and how they found out with tech and even the entrepreneurial spirit, how they actually got into that. So for myself, being fine, because of that, I work currently at AIM, so which is an investment which is an investment like traditional investment manager or wealth management company. And so that's about it. So Elijah or Emily, one of them.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Elijah Ashawi. I'm a software engineer and data director, and also the co-founder of Superhydra.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Shisolumide, and yeah, I'm a software and technical writer, and I'm also a co-founder of Spider Ohio. Super happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you very much. So, for the first question, you just tell us a bit about yourself and how you found your way into tech. So, how did you get started into tech? How did you get started into data analysis, into technical writing, and all of that?
Okay. Olu, do you want to go
I think
first?
Ashalu should go. No, you go first. You go first.
Okay, that's fine. All right. I got into tech because I don't know. I've always wanted to like build stuff. So the first time I was learning about computer science and software engineering generally. So I was having this discussion with my brother, and so he was explaining how I'll be able to build my own games because I used to enjoy playing games a lot then. So he was saying how I would be able to build robots and all of those cool stuff. So that kind of inspired me, right? 'Cause I want to build my own things. I want to build my own games that other people would play. And the irony now is I did not even get to like build game throughout. Maybe in the future, maybe I will. Like so, I basically got into tech because I wanted to build stuff. I want to build what other people would use, and yeah. So you can go next now.
All right.
Yeah,
So thank you for
sounds
that,
very
Ashalu. So I got into tech to build a career, actually, right? So although I knew that I was actually going to build stuff, right? But I basically got into just build a career because um, when I was about to like go to uni, I I knew I was going to study computer science. So all I just had to do was to actually like pick up a book then. So it was a book on Fortran. So that translator, which is a very, very good and archaic programming language. Then someone saw me and he was like, "Are you interested in programming?" And I said yes. So that was when he introduced me to Python, and I started writing Python. I started learning how to like code in Python. Then I got to uni. I learned PHP, and that's where I actually met Elijah, my friend. So we were both classmates, and we were in a community. So a community like this, um, it really helped us because we had a very, very healthy competition amongst each other, right? We were learning together, we were writing crazy amount of PHP codes then. So, and we had our friends along the way. Then we all branched into several areas. Shaolu, Joel, we were doing more of web development front end. Then I just branched into data science. From there, we found our way into technical writing. Found out we could actually like, make money from technical writing. Then we just kept on, just growing and growing and growing, just branching into things, just trying to like just grow and just scale up basically. So yeah, that's it.
good. That sounds very interesting. So what if you go way back? What if you go way back? What if you went to the same school and
Yeah.
yes, everybody started learning and decided to come up with the idea. So
Mhm.
outside tech, so everybody was talking about school tech. You didn't talk about anything fun. So what do you do for fun? So outside the entire work, or career building, what do you do for fun?
Okay. So, what do I do for fun? I sleep. That's one. So sleeping is actually fun if you look at it
So
from that
everybody sleeps.
perspective. So I sleep for the fun of it, right? And I play games once in a while. I'm not actually a pro gamer, so I play games once in a while, and I know how to swim. So I swim, and I tried my hands on how to skate. Oh, so far so good. I've not been actually like good at it. So it's just sitting down somewhere. So I sleep for fun. I love playing games. I just like hanging out with my friends. Shall we? We go on adventures. Like we just pick a location, maybe each month, right? We just pick a location and we just go there, just go and explore, take pictures, eat, and just come back home. Yeah. So I guess that's fun, right? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
that's that's what.
Okay.
We say
From my own end. Oh,
I
sorry.
what sorry, what kind of skating? You said you
It's
do skate.
rollerblades.
Oh,
Rollerblades. There's a dish on the floor. Yeah, it's just there.
all right. How about you, Elijah?
From my own end, I also play game, right? I play game a lot actually, especially on weekends. So I play Call of Duty Alcatraz. So I'm always excited to play it every weekend. And apart from game, I like to watch movies, right? And also, like you said, we hang out a lot. So I think last weekend it was at my place, and we just went out to have fun. So yeah, that's fun. So
Okay. So so today we're talking about startups, and every startup started with like an idea, a problem, or a moment, or maybe through an hangout. Maybe somebody came up with an idea. Um, how did the idea, or how did the best of Spider dot IO come about? First of all, what was the I? Why did you also pick dot IO as well? Then will tell us about the startup as well.
All right, so let me go first. So Asha can just take the other part. So the idea behind web scraping came from um, it was like an hunger for something different, right? So having looked at the whole landscape of all the products that have been coming out of Nigeria, we found out that there have just been few companies, few products, successful products that have actually like scaled that are into web scraping, web automation, and all. So the three of us, like we are three co-founders, right? So surprisingly, we interviewed at the same company. So the company was also into web scraping, data extraction, and all sorts. So we met and we were just talking about the experiences, and then the idea just came up that how about we build our own stuff, right? Since we three of us we have the domain knowledge, apart from the technical expertise, right? There's this part of domain knowledge. I think he dropped off. So there's this part of domain knowledge which the three of us had at the time. So we figured out that it would be actually easier if the three of us could actually come together and build something like this. Since the three of us has like we have that domain knowledge, right? So we started having several calls, just trying to like fine tune the idea. Then we did a short survey, right? We spoke with. Please, can you check the chat?
Yeah.
So we did a short survey, and we were able to actually like hear from some people, and we got pretty solid feedback. Some people told us that it's going to be a cool feature if we can add that, because most of all the products that I have there are mainstream, that are into web scraping, web crawling, and web automation, and they are either European-based companies or they are American-based companies like the US, right? So that's one of the that's one of the motivation behind the whole name. Then when we started building, we didn't even know we were going to like go ahead with the name Spydra. So we had a debate back and forth. Then we were actually able to like come up with Spydra. So yeah, I guess that's like the whole story behind it. We're just trying to like do something cool and fun, and at the same time something very very useful and important to both developers and people that are non-engineers. So we pride ourselves in the fact that If you want to use Spydra, you do not have to be an engineer. So the platform is no code. And on the other side too, we have a code section for developers who are coming to use our API, right? So, but we are a no code platform, which means that if you want to scrape the web, you want to get some data of the web, and you want to like build your own platform, you want to like just run anything, you can just use Spydra without you having to actually learn how to code. Just plug in the URL and you can actually like, scrape your data off any website that you have the you know the authority to actually like scrape. And yeah, it has been pretty fun. It's actually fun when you're building your friends. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Mhm. So
good.
Ashad, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, sorry, I dropped off earlier. My network kind of got disconnected. So I missed the question.
Okay, when we told us about BD Spider and how it was great and how even the name, you passed some argument before someone came up with the name and divided the
Oh,
argument
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Even down to the
how
logo, right? Down to the logo.
Out the logo.
also again, you also mentioned about how the platform is low code, but you also has a coding session and API for the engineers. You also mentioned about how the idea came about from you guys being interviewed at one company. You guys are not being interviewed by the same company, and the company also does something similar, which is like web scraping. And from that, he decided that why don't you just build something with also build a web scraping tool because technically for the Nigeria ecosystem, they're not a lot of web. I don't think we can probably five of web scraping startups in the ecosystem. Most startups are in other parts of the ecosystem. So yeah, then so you mentioned all of that. I don't know if there's any other stuff you want to add up to what you have said so far, but so far that was like a summary of what you have told us about the startup.
Yeah, and I think Olumide has said it all, right? So rejection kind of failed the idea, like you said earlier, right?
What do you
Um,
mean by rejection?
so maybe we cannot share like the whole context now. Like this this company rejected like three of us, right? And we decided to build our own thing, build our own product, Olumide. So we came together, we did survey, we tried to like analyze the market, we sent out form to get feedback from people on how we can build like a solid platform, right? And like you said also, we had like not crazy arguments, but we eventually we agreed on stuff. So down to say like the logo, the name, all of those things. Oh, and I think another thing that I would want to mention is the importance of community, because like you said earlier, we attended the same school. That's the three of us building Spider, myself, Olumide, and Joe, the third person, right? So and we kind of learned programming in the same community. I think that's like main the fact that communities like this ones are very very important, right? So and so far so good. It's going on well. And like you said, we want to build a platform where the average Joe can use. You get you don't need prior web scraping experience before you can use Spydra. And on the other hand, if you're a developer, if you want we have our API, right? And we are building SDKs. You can just plug stuff into as a developer and build from there. So
That's actually good. I mean, that's how most web scraping stuff should. It should be simple enough for the average person to be able to make use of it, but also very comprehensive enough that if someone wants to do the art stuff, they can also modify it to what they want if they know exactly how to do it. So, so can you walk us through like the early stage? So, like for example, like creating the first version. How was the first version? Like, how did you create it? What tools? Was it just Python? So, was it just a language of Python? Did you have to learn maybe a new programming language on the go? Did you have to use like third parties to use like or basically what helped you? Or do you guys have to go to your garage and build it to or what exactly? How did you build the very first version and even the current version we have now? as well.
Okay. So we kind of have like we have the experience. We've done some web scraping in the past, so that helped us to some extent, right? But yeah, we had to learn like a lot of new things also. So one thing that matters in a product like this one is the speed, right? You want to build a platform that would respond in milliseconds. So we had to learn, say, all of these new technologies like caching, like
Caching.
integrating Redis, yes, right? Cache
What's
response.
caching?
Then
Because what's caching? Because a lot of people in our audience, so you may need to break it down.
okay, okay. I'll try to the best of my knowledge. So caching is, say you have like a very large amount of data, right? So you have, I'm looking for an example that I can use. Okay, in our own case now, in Spydra case, so what we use caching for is, we run, what do you call it now? We run headless browsers, right? We run Puppetier, Playwright, and all of those things. So instead of sending the response like, to the user at once, so we cache it, right? And we stream it to them. So we cache it on the back end with Redis and BullMQ and all of those things, right? So we cache it and stream it to them. So that way they can get the response like it loads faster on their end. And also for us now, the developers, see what we want to do some kind of manipulation on the back end. Can also do that easily. So I don't know if that makes sense. But I can also help by maybe sharing resources after the call for people that might be interested in learning more.
I think they are full chat. Okay, so you say something. So you say you have to learn new technology like caching, and you have to learn
Yeah,
also
we
be
have
able
to
to
learn Redis, right? And all of those
also
things.
be fast to go to the market as well.
Oh, and we had to learn a lot of things about like running a business also, right? Because this is not just some side project. We had to learn how to build a business, and yeah, we faced a couple of challenges along the way. Say for one, we were trying to integrate Stripe, for example, right? And Stripe is not supported in Nigeria, so we had to look for how to make all of those things possible, and basically running a global business. So, Olu, do you want to add to that?
Yes, so I think I picked up a couple of things while you were talking, and I just wanted to like buttress it. So I don't want to like talk much so that the conversation will not just be all like be too long, right? So after we came up with the idea, the next thing was like coming up with the team, right? So and like I established earlier on that we are friends. So it's easier to actually like build stuff with your friend than trying to like just build with people that don't know you from anywhere. Currently now we are working on it. None of us is getting paid, right? Because we all have our separate tasks, like our jobs that we do, but we still try to
Right.
like meet and actually like we still try to meet to make this work, right? We meet every day. Like we meet every day at night. We spend hours on calls because the three of us we are in different states in Nigeria, but we make sure that we meet every day because we need to like keep that communication line open so that everybody is aware of everything that is happening at each point in time, right? And there's no bottleneck whatsoever in the pipeline of our development and our operations because we are a very streamlined and very very tiny company. We don't have the funds to actually like employ several people at this point in time to actually like come in and help us because it's still a startup right now. So building with your friends is very very important. You guys can talk to each other directly, share ideas, brainstorm ideas, and you guys can build if you guys are willing to actually like do the heavy work together, right? It's going to vary since you guys are friends. And how we built it, Ashalu made mention of some of the technologies, which might be a little bit technical, right? But basically, it's just we built the front end that's going to work at the back end. Sorry, we built the front end where every user is going to interact with. Then the bulk of the logic behind our platform is on the back end, and it's a little bit, tricky. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to like add to what he said, right? Because I know there are several people on this call right now that probably have ideas on startups, and they feel like they can do it alone. Yes, you can, but if you actually want to save yourself a lot of stress, it's best if you actually build it with people, right? Build it with your friends, build it with people that you can actually like talk to freely, and you guys can get things done before the teams become so large that everybody comes in with different ideologies, different plans, and all. So yeah.
Yeah, so community is very important when building, and those gets hard. But what we say is like the what are the most challenge? So at the moment, it seems like everything was rosy. Besides, like the fact that you have to learn new technology and everything. So what we say is like the biggest challenge. Like you probably didn't expect at the beginning, but well, as you're building, you came across it. I mean, you expected the learning of new technology because you are going into something new. So you expected that.
Mhm.
You probably also expected the part of funding. Like you mentioned, you are not getting paid. There's also at the moment you haven't been funded. So your pockets are probably drained a lot. But besides those, was there any other challenge that you say was like a challenge that you didn't see in the beginning, but at the moment you kind of saw it, what you started with, what you got on the job. Or
So
this
can you say that
lost.
last part again, please?
Okay, so I was saying that what would you say is the biggest challenge you faced throughout this entire stuff? Like
Mhm.
like I know you probably faced financial challenges since you are building it,
Okay.
everything is self funded. You also probably faced like the learning gap, regardless of like how cracked you guys are. Yeah, you also have to probably learn new stuff. There's always something new to learn generally. Even in your
So
past work, there's
definitely.
always something new to learn. So you probably also have to like learn maybe a new language, a new technology to maybe face the roadblock. Even security, because everybody's data, but there's also the security aspect. So you also probably have to learn that. So, but beside learning or financially, was there any other challenge that you see that you faced while trying to build a startup?
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to go first, then I shall can just like mention something. So one thing that was crazy in outset was there's something that we used to do, or we stopped it at some point. But we grew our code base from just few lines of code and just um, few files. Now we are on a very robust code base right now. And if anybody is here who really understands and who has actually like, built a product before, you understand how difficult this can be if you are trying to like scale up and actually like manage all these entire infrastructures end to end, right? And it's pretty difficult, right? Because we also have stuff that we do on the side that needs our attention. So we trying to like track this down, hold things down on multiple ends, right? It's something that was difficult at first, but we're trying to just learn to actually like have a balance, right? Just take things slow and not just rush into it. That was one thing. Then AWS showed us shaky. AWS showed us shaky. I won't lie to you that it was like premium shaggy, like it was a whole lot of hassle here and there. And um, it was a bittersweet experience because we also got to actually like learn, relearn, and unlearn some things, right? And it was actually like really interesting too. Like I said, we are building with ourselves, right? Hours. Sometimes we have a quick stand up in the afternoon. Then at night, we do like 2, 3 hours long meetings, right? Everybody's just on their PC, we share tasks, and everybody's just working. And there are some aha moments, and there are some, oh my God, why? Right? Because it's crazy. Because I can remember a night, right? So our platform, we have some other SaaS companies that are incorporated into Spydra. So SaaS simply means software as a service, right? So incorporated into Spydra, and there's something called captchas. Pretty sure everybody knows what captchas are. Captchas are those, are you a robot check that you get to solve a puzzle, right? So our platform solves it. So there, we were able to like get it done. We got it done yesterday, literally yesterday, right? I'm not so not yesterday, but I'm talking about the day it happened, right? So we got it done that
Yeah.
day. We were so happy. Everybody was like, "Come on, get in!" Like it was an aha moment for. Then the following day, it was not working.
No, it's
It was not working.
like when you go for a demo, and
It was
yeah,
not working.
like he was working right now, and the next thing you
You
enter the
get
meeting and
so
it just
that
stops working.
it was working yesterday now, bro. Like it was working yesterday. So there were times like that. So and it was a little bit crazy to actually like, just manage everything, keep it down, keep it cool, not losing your cool while you are just trying to like understand where the problem is actually coming from. So that's one thing we're able to actually like learn fast. And another thing that we're also able to like pick up really fast was getting the idea, spinning it up, coming up with the architecture, the design, and just running fast with it, right? So the process, we're able to like cut the process from ideation to production, right? Instead of going to several loops, we're able to just cut the process from ideation straight to production, like just rapid. So it's like a fast-paced system that we run right now, Spydra. So it's something that was a little bit difficult at first, but right now it's getting like really, really seamless. And yeah, so I'll pass the mic to Asha if you have something else that I had.
Okay, you've said it all actually. I think one of that challenge that me I can remember now is staying motivated, right? Because at some point we all felt like giving up, but we just had to like continue
Right.
pushing, right? Because it's so easy to give
Mhm.
up when things are not working. If you get, like you said, we built something today, it was working perfectly. Then the next day it stopped working. So we just have to remind ourselves why we started in the first place. And yeah, one other problem that I can remember vividly, I think I said something close to that earlier, was integrating Stripe, right? Because we are building like Spydra is global, like anybody anywhere in the world can use Spydra. So we had to use like a global payment method as well, right, for some of our paid services. So and everybody trusts Stripe, right? So integrating Stripe was like um, so we thought it was something that we just need to like sign up to Stripe, grab our API key, and just start using it. Like, come on, we were wrong. Like, we were so wrong. So we had to do some business incorporation, do some kind of registration, right? Source fund and pay for some services. But yeah, along the line, we figured it out and everything worked out fine. So,
That sounds very great. And that was very top fans and like a lot of sleepless nights. So, like Olumide mentioned, all of you still have stuff you are doing, like work wise, like your 9 to 5s and all of that. So, how do you manage doing that and also doing this? So, is it like you strictly build only at night and in the daytime you are working, or how does that work?
well, it's not easy
All
to
right.
be honest. Okay, Olu, do you want to go first?
No, no, just continue. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, it's not easy. Like it's if anybody says it's easy, that's a very big fat lie. It's not easy at all. Some of us are running 9 to 5 and still doing this on the side, right? It's not easy. So we just have to like create the time and So I think one thing that helped us now was like when we just started. So after our gigs like in the morning, our 9 to 5. So we would have our meeting in the night to get. So by that time you are done with your main work and you are just relaxing. So working within ourselves, relaxing and figuring things out. I mean, as I'm saying it might sound easy, but like even that is not easy, right? So we had to do it. We had to find the time to make things happen.
All right. So, just to add to what you said, right? They say balance is a myth, right? It is true. It is not really possible to actually like balance everything all together, right? There's work, there's family, siblings, there's church, religion. Let me use church. There's religion, and there are life challenges too that hits you on the side, right? Maybe you are looking up to something and it does not come true. So your state of mind might be a little bit, in distress, and you're just everywhere. Your mood is everywhere. But just like Ashaolu said, remembering why we started in the first place as like being our source of motivation. And there was a time that all we were doing to each other in the group was because we have a group where we communicate, right? So all we were doing then was sending images of companies that raised funds, right? So this company just raised funds, send it. This company just raised funds, send it to the group. So and now we feel like okay, we want to give up. We just send that image to the group and go, no, 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 no. We are meeting tonight, guys. We are meeting tonight. Like we're meeting. So during the day, we are like working on our normal life, and at night, bro, we are on full time Zen ninja mode, right? Just coding, basically. You know, that's just it.
Yeah, that's very good. So yeah, you just mentioned about funding. That was another question I was going to ask about funding. So funding is building is one thing, balancing is one thing, and like you have already said, that's it. And to be honest, it's actually a myth. You actually cannot balance the entire circle of life, to be honest. And so when it comes to funding, I think you stated earlier that everything is as you have bootstrapped the entire stuff was purely from your pocket or maybe probably your friends, but at the moment, so how is that funding been? As applying to VC firms gone? As that part of the journey been? As it does be, is there any basically how's the journey been? Just tell us how's that been so far. I mean, the startup is still young. I think less than 8 years. Sorry, less than 8 months, right? But how's that part of the journey been?
All right. So thank you very much. I think I'm going to go first. Then Ashalu can just add something to it. So for the funding, currently we are still self-funding, right? So basically everything we've been doing so far has been from our pockets. So we're shelling out um, for our infrastructure cost, Amazon and our domain. Uh, I think the most expensive that we spent was registering our business as a business in the United States. So like we are not like a Nigerian business. So we have access to PCs in the US. Right? So that's like one of the most expensive, and I would say that's one of the most best decisions we made, right? Because we are all in Nigeria, we know the way Nigeria is, right? So thank God we actually made. So the bulk of the funds have been really coming from our pocket. We've applied to a funding before. So when we applied to the funding, we were not out of our beta yet, right? So we didn't get in. And the reason why we did not get in was because they told us that we don't have that traction yet. So it was not even painful at all. It was just that, okay, we need to see users using your platform. And we're happy to announce that currently we have users using our platform. And yeah, our goal is to like, actually like, move on a much larger scale next year. But right now, we are still reaching out. We are reaching out and we're speaking with people. And you guys should just watch out. Got big news coming your way soon. So, yeah.
Short of what? What's going on?
I said you guys should watch out. Like we're already in talks with some people, and we have big news coming. So you guys should just just stay good, basically.
Yeah, yeah. You don't really to add, actually,
Okay, maybe they have said it all right. Um, but yeah, so another thing that we believe in is, there is a lot we can do now. I mean, yeah, currently, like I said, we are strapping the funds ourselves. We are sorting out the bills ourselves. Plus, even with all of this, even without, I mean, we'll get funded. That's going to happen for sure. Like, maybe even before that happens, like there is a lot that we can do. There is like we can reach crazy heights. So I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So we can reach
I
crazy
mean,
heights.
you have also mentioned the crazy apps. You have tractions. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's
So
actually something, to be honest.
so we really have big goals. And like you said also, we are talking to people, right? And something big is going to happen very soon. You guys should watch out.
So two more questions because I think we're almost running out of time for this results. So the one question I want to ask, so you have traction, you're getting traction. So you have built the two, and to run the two is just very solid. And it's no code like you mentioned. It also uses the APIs, so you could either minimize your skill level, but actually like make use of it. Actually, a tool that everybody can use. What would you say was one of your success, like a proud moment. It could be something very small. It could actually be something very small. It could also be something very maybe big. I guess both of you probably have two different pride moments, but something that maybe that something that happens and you're like, you smile and you're like, yeah, you did that.
Okay, let me go first. So yeah, something happened recently, right? We got our first paying user, and that was really mind blowing for us, right? That motivated us big time. So hey, another crazy thing that even happened. This person that paid for our product,
Yeah,
we did not have the future that I was looking for. I don't know if you understand. So this person messaged us that you guys don't have what I'm looking for, refund or something. We just had to we had to ship what we was looking for overnight. So that's like another part to
yeah.
right? So we had to ship that future like in less than 24 hours because somebody is paying for our plasma and he's saying he wants to go like that. We could not let that happen.
Was that
So
the first paid user?
Mhm.
what did
That
you
was the
say?
first. Was that the
Mhm.
first paid user?
Yeah, I think yeah, that was the
Yeah, it
first period.
That's
was.
good.
That was the first period.
Yeah.
So,
That's
so
actually very cool.
we had to. But that was like a very crazy moment among all of us. That was a big moment.
Yeah, well, really, what is the conclusion the first paid user? By the way, that's actually very huge stuff. Not a lot of startups actually get that. So from one page user, before you know you have 10, and then before you know you have 100, and by next year you probably have a lot of paying users. And shipping a feature
Of course.
overnight, 24 hours, will actually get the person to trust you because that means like you listen to the users and they know that they can, but you have their back. How about you, Olumide? I don't know. Do you have another? Do you have a proud moment in the journey?
No, 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 I think I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I said it. I said what I wanted to
Okay.
even say actually.
All right. So sorry, these are two more questions and call it. So the last question is someone from the audience asked somebody from the audience, Shukudi, said it's a beginner and it's asking like so he's a beginner. So how does he build a program? Like do you have any um I don't know, any resources? Will I say resources? I don't know if resources is the right word because these resources you can go on YouTube. But like do you have anything maybe he wants to build a program. But he's a beginner. He's a beginner. So how does he get started?
Okay, Olu, just answer the question.
Okay, so I think yeah, let me answer that. Let me answer that. So hi Chukudi. Nice question. So this question is a very very cool question. And I'm going to like give you a very practical example. I built my first program in 2017, and guess what the name of the program was? The program gets a user input and turns it backwards, like turns it backwards. Do you get? So it's as simple as that, right? So if you want, a program is basically a solution that does something, or it could be an app, it could be an app, could be a web app, it could be a mobile app, whatever you are just trying to build, that you have to like program it step by step in order to achieve a purpose, right? It's just basically a program. So don't like overcomplicate things a lot with the whole big, big English grammar, right? So if you want to actually build a software, whatever you want to build, the first thing you need to have is a clear vision of what you are trying to build, right? If you can actually scratch it down on a piece of paper, have like a flow chart, whatever, just like try to jot it down. Once you've been able to jot it down, the next thing you need are tools, right? So there are some solutions you build. I don't want to use the word programs or like there are some solutions you build or products that you build right now that may not require you to actually learn a programming language. For example, if you are using WordPress to build web applications, you don't need to necessarily be a pro at web technologies, right? But if you want to be technical, if you want to be highly skilled, and you want to know the nitty-gritties of all this, then you need to actually like, learn some programming skills, right? Once you have that under your belt, then the next thing for you to do is to start building and start shipping features, basically, right? So if you're trying to like build, let's say, an e-commerce website. So you can just break it down into several chunks. So today you can build your maybe login page, work on the logic behind the whole authorization and authentication, right? Tomorrow you build the landing page that gets all the whole this thing. That's like where all your products will be fed to the user. Next tomorrow or maybe a week from there, you set up your database schema. Your database schema is just like the architecture of your database. Do you get? So just breaking down what I said, get the paper and a pen, scratch it down like everything. Let it be. So that you can know how to like follow everything. It is traceable. So yeah, and the last but not least is iteration and fine tuning. Just going over your pipeline again, just fine tuning it. There are some things that you can actually like iterate on and just clean up better. Maybe you are using so many for loop in one place, and there's a way you can just use the for each loop to actually like. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Those are some
I
solid
don't know if I
questions.
answered your
So
question.
yeah, I think we did. I don't know, Shukri, did he answer your question? But to summarize it, don't replicate things. You can start small,
Oh, okay.
like with a very simple idea. Not by complicate things. Based on your idea, you can either learn a programming language or learn a very simple tool. And also remember that well, the first version is not your final version, so keep iterating and keep
Oh, oh,
refining
it was
it.
not.
Basically. Uh, okay. So yeah, Kingsley, over to you. Uh, Kingsley.
I'm not sure I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, he's back now. Yeah,
okay, I
he's
can
back.
hear you now.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so thank you, Mr. Fry. Thank you, Mr. Elijah. Thank you, Mr. Olu, for this session. I know that it has been quite technical, and some people did not understand some things that were said, and no problem. I feel during the practical session, I feel some places will become clear to me how to use AWS, how to use WordPress, how to start up your startup. Yes. So it needs to become clear to everybody. Once you speak the end of this program, you'll be eligible for the phase two of this program, which is going to be a boot camp. We are going to learn all these things alongside. So hopefully we'll see Mr. Fine here, we'll see Mr. Elijah there, and we'll see Mr. Olumide there. At least then they will like break it down for you in a way that you understand, and then everything will work less. So meanwhile, thank you very much, Mr. Fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Olumide. Thank you very much, Mr. Elijah, for this technical section. We are happy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again for
uh,
having us.
Okay, so that was a very technical session. It's technical session. So my apologies for those that didn't quite understand some things. No worry, sorry, they need to make clear to be very, very I'm going to help you. Want to clear everything. I'm going to learn some things. Some that I'm thinking about are things that are very simple and common to understand. But thank you to them for this powerful session. So next we have somebody very powerful, somebody very big military in our midst, the former special advisor to the governor on Enugu on former special advisor to the governor of to the Enugu State Governor on ESMG is here, and he's taking us on the future of work and youth empowerment. Right. So let me read a little bit about him. So Mr. Anaya have been voted over 30 years in at the intersection of international trade, entrepreneurship, and enterprise development training, advertising and inspiring thousands of Nigerians, the US, and beyond. He's been called many names alongside the billionaire advisor, the SME master, Mr. Franchising, and most funding, Oga. But titles matter less than his commitment. So he has championed market access for hundreds of US companies, building major franchise brands, entering Nigeria and West Africa. His career includes a key role as a senior commercial specialist at US Commercial Service and special advisor on SME development to two Enugu state governors, earning multiple awards for leadership and impact. He is the co-founder of the Seeds of Great Institute, and he has integrated business strategies, personal development, neuroscience, and leadership psychology to teach one core philosophy, which is success is a system. So when ideas, soft skill, execution, functions, and a strong self-image align. So I think that is very is quite long. I don't need everything. So, but I want everyone to join me. Let's use the comment section or let's use our best emoji to describe how I feel now because we have a very big image in our midst. I have a very big image in our midst. So I want us to use a fire emoji to express our joy that you join us tonight. It's a privilege to have someone like him tonight. So it's not easy to bring him along. So let's welcome the Honorable. Sorry, sir, Honorable Anna.
Thank you, Kingsley. You know, I'm seeing your name as Kingsley the first time, Nonce. I normally will call you Nonce. So, I also take it for granted that you already have my PowerPoint. Hello. Is it possible to display my PowerPoint? I just speak from here.
Okay, so please just wait a little bit. Um, let's get the slide ready, please. Okay, so please just try to be patient. We are trying to get the PowerPoint, the slides. It was in another format. We need to get it in PDF so we can be able to display it. So please decided to be patient and join us very soon. You join us soon, please. Okay, so he's coming back. So, but before then, I hope we are prepared. I hope we are ready for this section because it's one of the most powerful sections that you get in this program. He's an experienced man. He's going to talking us on the future of work and youth empowerment. Right. So keep your ears. This one is not a technical section. It's a section that you can be able to relate with. So I need you to put your minds to it. You will learn a lot from this. So, but meanwhile, you can take the link to this live, share it to your friends. They should join us in this section. They should join us in this powerful section. Share the link to your friends. They should join. Okay, so we are back. Sorry for the break in transmission. So sorry about that. Let's wait for him to join. His slide is ready.
Mic on.
I'm looking for the control. Hello, yeah, Kingsley, I'm back. Sorry about the disruption.
Okay, sir. You can go on. You can go on, sir.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Kingsley has given me a long and glorious introduction. So I would save our time. I won't go into my own details anymore. I simply will just go straight to the slides. My topic is a little bit straightforward: youth empowerment, the future of work and entrepreneurship. It's an environment I've been with for the past 30 years. And if you look at what is going on in the country today and around the world, then you won't be surprised why I'm interested in youth empowerment, which is really all about giving people the tools, the knowledge, and the capacity they need to take control of their lives and make the most of their resources and gifts. That's really what it is all about. I like your creative conference. When Kingsley approached me, three things came to my mind, and those are three factor checks that I normally do. One is to find out whether there is the ability to host this and make success of it. The other one was to consider the motivation behind it. And the third one was the attitude. These three factors, were visibly present. So, and that gave me the motivation I was looking for to get involved. So let's go straight to the presentation itself. Can you move to the next slide? Okay. This is deliberately written this way so that everybody can read it. And what I said in the first line there is that we are at a crossroads in our development journey as a species. I'm talking about the entire humanity, not just us as Nigerians or the creatives in the Southeast. And I also say that today we stand at one of the most consequential intersections in human history, an era where imagination, creativity, technology, global markets, human needs, and potential are converging to redefine how we live, how we work, how work is done, what opportunities mean, how prosperity is created, shared, are sustained and what now constitutes the real currency of professional trade and value. What this simply means is that there's hysteria everywhere about what AI is all about, what it will do to works, what it will do to our interests, the way we live, the way we do things, our ambition, everything really about success in a workplace. And listening to our panel, they shared their challenges and all that. When they started, how much of AI was present, I don't know, because I didn't join them early to know. But today, what it takes to succeed has fundamentally changed. What it takes to be empowered has also fundamentally changed. And that's what we'll be discussing as we progress. So let's go to the next slide. And the next slide, so simply say defining a defining moment for a generation. Now I'm talking about your own generation. What has been the issue or the challenge in our country has been the fact that youth empowerment, which is what governments do, NGOs do, multinational organizations do, which is the desire to prepare young people like you for the future, because we call it the leaders of tomorrow. Youth empowerment is really about preparing for that tomorrow. But the irony is that in the past 50 years or more, all we've done in our country, in fact, around most of the developing countries, especially Africa, is when we talk about youth empowerment, we simply talk about technical abilities or competencies. You know, it could be about understanding how to set up a computer, play with it, do other technical things like, you know, graphic designs and related to engineering and all that. And you hardly will see anybody or hear anybody talking about personal competencies, what it takes to create a human being that has the competencies to be able to use machines, work with machines, and also look at the two sides. Because when you're talking about competence, we're actually talking about two sides. We are talking about the technical competence, which is where the emphasis has always been. And then, but currently, we now begin to talk about soft skills, which is the human side of it. The human side of it is how you think, how you feel, how you work, your general attitude to things. You know, when somebody is looking for a partner, most times he's not talking about technical competence, he's talking about you, the humanity in you. What makes you a human? What makes you a decent person? What character do you have? That also plays out even in employment. Most times when people are employing, they just pay attention to degrees you have, which is your professional background. But more importantly, they're also looking at, more importantly, your character. Because that's what will matter. That's what will determine the way you use your technical skills. So in the past few years or more in our country, we paid undue emphasis on the technical competence, but to the disadvantage of the personal or the what makes us humans. And it is what makes us human that differentiates us from machines, robots. And the hysteria about artificial intelligence, whether it will wipe out jobs or redefine jobs, and so on, has a lot to do with technical competence, not necessarily what makes us human. Because artificial intelligence, intelligent machines can never, ever replace us. It can never, ever replace what we do, because artificial intelligence cannot envision ideas. It cannot lead a team or lead a company or tell the stories the panelists told about how they started their companies and the challenges that they went through and how they gradually got to where they are today. Artificial intelligence won't deal with those things. It can only talk about the technical aspect. So what I'm saying in effect is that the reason why we've not done much in our country when we are talking about empowering the youth is because of the gap between what we desire and what it takes to create the competence that take people to the heights and help them to fulfill their ambitions. Go to the next slide. Go to the next slide, please. So I'm saying that the paradox of empowerment is investing millions in training and grants without necessarily empowering people or giving people the necessary competence that they need to succeed. Okay, can you go to the next slide? So that's what I call the paradox of empowerment. Billions invested in training and grants without necessarily giving people the confidence they need to succeed in life, because we are just doing one side of what competence is all about. Okay, you do empowerment, but yet people are unemployed because they are not able to use the skills that you are giving them, because it takes technical skills, but they also take the human competencies to be able to use the skills. Okay, go to the next slide. So I said that empowerment without competence, which is technical skills also included, won't take you anywhere. You need the inner capacity to determine and use the technical skills that we're talking about. Can you go to the next slide? So in talking about competence, two things define competence, and that's what I call the nexus of competence. That's the meeting point of the two factors that give you the competence. Nexus is more like the converging point of technical skills, human skills, and of course you can now bring in even the AI, skills and knowledge. That's what gives you the ability and the competence to be able to function in the workplace and also start entrepreneurship. If you have technical competence, but you don't have the human abilities and traits and gifts that use the technical skill, it won't go far. And the albatross or the weight that keep people down in spite of their training is this gap. And that gap is the gap which I call that's what I call what I'm referring to here as the albatross, which is give you trainings without necessarily giving you the competence that you require to do what you are supposed to do, because it's not fully formed. Go to the next slide. So I defined the nexus here, which is the meeting point. You can read it. I said that the competence nexus is just the meeting point where the technical abilities that you require, the personal competence that you require, and then collaboration today with AI can give you the holistic capacity and the ability to be able to do what you want to do, to succeed in whatever it is, whether you are going to entrepreneurship or you are going into employment or anything you want to do with your life. Okay, let's go to the next one. So when we talk about technical competence, that's what we listen to our panelists do. We talk about coding, editing, engineering, swing, and all that. These are technical competencies. But technical competencies alone can't take you far, because you are going to work with people in an office. If you are starting your own job, you are going to have employees work for you. And if you are going to lead a project, you're also going to work with people. And that would mean dealing with attitudes, dealing with perceptions and the perspectives and different opinions people have. So you may have all the technical competence to do the job or do the project, but if you don't have the human aspect, you won't be able to marry these things together and be able to create a result that you want. And the truth of the matter is that most times your technical competence just accounts for 20% of what it takes to succeed in life. Can we go to the next slide? Personal competence deals with your mindset, discipline, emotional intelligence, and the executive functions, which control 80% of what it takes to be successful in life. What I mean by executive function is that everybody is born with the potential to succeed in life. Everybody is born with the gifts that they require for whatever is their purpose of what they choose to do. These gifts and these potentials have to do, again, with your ability to restrain yourself, discipline yourself to pursue a cause. It's inborn. You just develop it from your childhood to about the age of 25 to 30. It is fully developed. Within this period also, executive function also deals with your ability to imagine things, to see the future, and also to make it a present fact in the way you think, in the way you feel, and the way you do things. Executive function also deals with your ability to initiate, for instance, a task, and then diligently pursue it. It also deals with empathy, you being able to recognize that the way you do things may just be good and suitable for you, but it may not be good and suitable for the next person. You also will have to do, which we call emotional intelligence. You also have to do with critical thinking and, making informed decisions. All these things or these factors actually come under executive functions. Executive functions is controlled by your frontal lobe, which is the face. When you look at your face, you touch your forehead. Behind that, your forehead is where your executive functions are. Is a biological and neurobiological traits that you have from birth. Everybody has it. What matters or what differentiates, for instance, somebody you admire that has certain qualities, leadership qualities, organizational qualities, creative qualities, ability to focus and get things done, pursuits, and all that. The difference is just the proficiency of the use of these executive functions, but everybody has it. Okay, and these executive functions is what determines the way you think, determines the way you engage and the way you feel and the way you behave and the attitude you carry to things and the work you do. So when you look at your technical competence and then marry it with your personal competence, and in our world today, then have some mastery and competence in the use of artificial intelligence, robots and intelligent machines. That is when you can begin to say, for instance, that you are ready for the world of work today and you are ready for the competitiveness and the factors that define entrepreneurship and success in entrepreneurship. Without these factors, you are not ready, you are not internally ready, even if you have all the skills to succeed. You won't be able to mobilize that skill and leverage it effectively if you are lacking in the personal competencies. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. Yes, you can continue because I've talked about the need for you to master, for instance, AI and be able to collaborate with AI to expand your capacities, multiply your output, increase your competitiveness. There are people who are saying AI is just a wave that is coming, a fad, it will go. Truth is that AI is the future. I wouldn't even say it's the future because it's already present, but it's also the future. So you won't go far. It doesn't matter the technical skill you have. You won't go far. It doesn't matter the personal competencies you have if you don't today become proficient in the use of AI. You won't go far. You won't go far. It will be like when industrial revolution started. Some people refute accept the fact that machines can do things a lot better, faster, than human beings, because at that time, it was the agricultural age. People resisted the machines and the use of machines and technology to do things. But those people and countries and nations became what we call the third world countries and backward countries. Those who moved ahead and perfected the use of machines and working with machines became the civilized world as we know it today. And there are still people who are leading the world, and those who lag behind in joining that revolution are still lagging behind today, even in this age of digital technology. Can we go to the next slide? So I'm just saying that when the meeting point of these competencies is missing, then what happens is that You have skills. It can be technical skill, but it becomes dormant because you are not able to leverage it. Then, of course, you may have opportunities to start a business, to work, for instance, here, sit down here and work outside. You won't be able to leverage it because there's a gap in the convergence of your technical skills, your human skills, and the competencies and leveraging of AI as of today, that you require to make the most of your life and then take advantage. You see that and before you, and also meet the challenges. Can you go to the next slide? So what I call empowerment abatrus is just, like I said again, teaching what to do, but not accompanying it with how to do it. Running empowerment programs that focus on education, on certificates is still going on today, even in our schools. You discover that most of the curriculum in our schools and most states across our country, for instance, tell you about empowering the youths, empowering small and medium enterprises, empowering women. But when you go down to the nitty-gritty of it, what you discover that's going on there are simply just about people gathering to do programs just like this one. The reason they do it, pay attention to, is because at the end of the day, certificates will be given. Not necessarily because people are being empowered, not necessarily because people are gaining competencies that they require. The relevant technical skills, the relevant soft skills or human skills that they require to be able to make use and take advantage of opportunities. Most of the time, those things are missing. What the best case scenario is where state governments or some NGOs have access to money, either locally or from outside. They give money, startup capital, to start businesses. But if you give somebody startup capital, but the person is lacking in the technical competence to do the business or the human competencies to be able to organize the business, it becomes just the case of people who win lotteries. You have people who win, for instance, in the US, 200 million, 500 million, and in 5 years, they are back to square one, back poor, back where they started. Much like what somebody says is that if you collect all the money in the world, all the money in Nigeria, if you collect it and share it equally to everybody, all our population, give it 1 year, 2 years to 5 years, maximum 10, the money will go back to those who have always earned it. Those go back to the billionaires, go back to the millionaires, go back to the rich. And those who were poor will come back, go back poor. The reason is because money is not the issue. The issue is the competence that you require. The issue is the technical competence you require, the personal competence you require to manage money. The issue is your internal readiness to be able to identify opportunities and be able to even leverage opportunities. So you may be given money and you end up just wasting the money and not doing anything meaningful with the money. Because why? You don't have the competences. You don't. Can we go to the next slide? Then I said that the future of work really is about AI and automation. There's no doubt about that. There are no exceptions. The future of work is borderless, and it's also borderless digital markets, because as we speak here, maybe somebody outside the country is part of what we are doing, and it's all about what? Making the use and the most use of digital technology. Is about creativity, it's about human ingenuity, it's about services export. That's where the game, these are the areas where the games are. It's no longer about marketers who used to know it. It's no longer about pursuing your interests in the hope that what worked yesterday will work today. No, it won't. It just will not work, because the environments have changed, the variables have changed, the skill sets have changed, the relationships have changed, and the expectations have changed. Today, for you to satisfy a cost, if you go to a medical doctor and he's doing prescriptions for you, let me use this as a good example. As he does your prescriptions, you are checking the prescription using your phone. Google the prescriptions the doctor is giving you, checking out what the prescription is all about, vis-a-vis what the doctor is saying. The same thing applies to you wanting to seek advice from somebody or coaching advice or wanting to buy products or service from anybody. It doesn't matter where that person is. The truth is that you can check out the authenticity of that product. You can check out the level of knowledge of that service you want to buy. You can check out the depth and experience of the person who says, I can mentor you or coach you or provide you business development services. The reason is because information, the person's information is public information, is online. It just takes you Googling. And if you Google, you can't find out the person's presence. That, of course, triggers your suspicion immediately that, I doubt whether this guy is who is claiming that he is. Because if you are, he should be up there and everywhere. Because he should be out there flaunting it, promoting it, because that's how you get your clients and that's how you manage to get your services. Can we go to the next slide? But again, like I said in the beginning, there's a story about AI. AI would take jobs. AI would wipe out this and wipe out that. Truth is that, yes, the world of work has changed. Okay, today AI can do it, so many technical things faster and better than us. That's why most people who have technical skills, especially technical skills that are routine and repetitive, technical skills that have to do with mundane jobs, if you are in these domains and professions, you are an endangered species. Reason is because AI can do most of these things better, faster. AIs can write codes, can create contents, analyze data, and do so many other things, because these are things that can be programmed, and then intelligent machine can repeat them, do them faster, better, don't get tired, don't get on break, and all that. And if you are hoping to, make it big in life, then of course you should be thinking about versatile skills that are not repetitive, skills that require human imaginations, skills that are more inclined towards what makes us human and unique. And what makes us human and unique, honestly, starts from the use of our mind, our imagination, our creativity, our human nature and traits, our ability to sense one another, relate with one another, create culture, be able to empathize, be able to lead, be able to self-manage. Those are the things that AI can never, ever take over. AI can never, ever start a company. AI can never, ever lead a team. AI can never host this conference we are hosting. We can leverage AI to make it better, leverage AI to attract people, leverage AI to deepen the depth, leverage AI to do so many other things. But AI can never start the initiative. Can we go to the next slide? AI cannot envision the future, empathize or lead, build trust or values, navigate cultures. Can you continue? Can you go to the next slide? Can you go to the next slide? So I talk about the competence compass. I just talk about a framework, which I said as a 4-pillar framework for creatives and Nigerian youths. And what I'm saying in effect is that for you now to call yourself somebody who is ready for the 21st century, who is ready to make the most use of your resources and talents, somebody who is ready to make a mark in your profession, somebody who is ready for entrepreneurship today, somebody who is ready, it doesn't matter your industry sector, it doesn't matter your interest, somebody who is ready to engage the world and also compete, whether in the workplace or in the business. You need these four pillars. You need technical mastery of whatever it is that you are doing. And that means would include proficiency in high-end skills such as what? Programming, digital designs, and all that and all that. These are the domains of the creatives. You need personal mastery, which will be, the way or the degree of personal awareness that you have, self-control, effectiveness, especially in how you think, feel, and act in different situations, including when you're under duress. Because that's actually what makes you a human being. Being able to restrain yourself, being able to know that shouting back to a client will actually mean that you have actually lost that client, and so on and so forth. And also that you need the capability, which is the aptitude and the tools and infrastructure to be able to use your technical competencies and use your personal competencies. And this will mean the capability to capability will refer to the external levers. When I mean levers are things that you can stand on to be able to do a lot more, what ordinarily left to yourself or by yourself you won't be able to do, but to optimize your capacities, explore opportunities, exploit them, and also meet challenges. They would include AI tools, they would include mentors, people like me, they will include digital platform that you belong to, systems that you use, devices that you use, the network and communities of these fall under the capabilities, and these are essential. You may have all the technical skills, you may be very good in your human capabilities, but if you lack these other factors, these tools, these enablers, you won't go far. Not that you won't be, moving gradually. You won't go far. Okay, you need competency. Competence covers evidence capability. If somebody wants to employ you, what they're after, yes, your certificate is good, but what they will be after is what are the evidence that you have to show that you can do what you are claiming. So it's not about showing me that, yes, I have it, I need for you to prove it. So that's where competency is coming. So you need technical mastery, you need personal mastery, you need the capability or aptitude, the tools and infrastructure to be able to do what you have the ability to do. Then you also have, like I said, the competency to be able to prove that you can actually do it. These four factors must always come at a convergence to be able to define what we call the competence nexus. Because without these four factors, you are not complete. You are not complete. But with them, you can compete anywhere. The self-knowledge and self-efficacy will be there because you know who you are, you have all it takes, not some of what it takes to be able to play and win. Go to the next one, please. I don't know how much that will have. Yes, I've already explained that what technical mastery is, so you can continue. We've already explained that. Then, services export. You call yourself the creatives. What I would take it to mean is that today, given technology, ubiquitous technology that we have, given AI, given the fact that globalization has flattened the world, you can be here and be part of a conversation holding in Australia, be part of a conversation holding in China, be part of a conversation holding this moment in the US or anywhere in the world. What this means and the opportunity this is presenting to us is especially those in your field and interest and those of your generation is services export. Is the new frontier. Services export provides or presents greater and more opportunities that oil and gas, gave to generations, before us and my own generation. Yes, oil and gas will be there, banking services will be there, but I can tell you that your game, where you make your money, most of your money will be in the services export. And what is services export? Services export is just the sale of skills, knowledge, creativity, digital solutions to clients across the world without leaving your home, without jabbing, without leaving the comfort of your home. Even while you're in school, I know some students who are actively involved in freelancing, online freelancing. They are making money, using it to pay, their school fees, take care of themselves. In fact, I know a guy who is actually using it even apart from paying his school fees, but also supporting his parents at home. The beauty of services export is that it provides equal opportunity for everyone, whether you are in developing country, a country challenged like Nigeria, or you are resident in the US or anywhere. You have equal opportunities because the playing field is online. What will matter is your competence. It won't be your country. Where your country will come in will be about checking your background, because you won't serve people substantially and significantly without them, first of all, knowing whether they can trust you, whether they can give you certain responsibilities. If people are going to give you, for instance, confidential information, they will have to be sure that you won't abuse it. If people are going to give you big projects to manage that will require money or require paying you in advance, they also want to be sure that you won't abuse it, that it won't vanish once you collect their money. So these are the few areas where the country of origin, your location will matter. Other than this, it's equal opportunity for anywhere. It's a matter of the competence that you have. It's a competence that would open the door for opportunity for you. It also determines how long you stay, how much money you make. But then going back to, again, the competence nexus, the issue of technical competence and personal competencies, who you are and how you do things, your reputation and character you have is the aspect or domain of personal competence. Again, back to the fact that even if you have all the technical skills, but nobody can trust you, your character is questionable, you can't relate well with people, you can't keep a customer, you won't be able to know when to keep your mouth shut, listen actively, empathize, and so on and so forth, you won't go far. Your technical skill can't go far. I'll give you another example. Most of the construction companies in Nigeria, building and all that, especially across the country, especially in Lagos here and in the southeast, actually dominated by artisans from the West Coast, from our neighboring countries. The question is why? The reason is because they have the technical competence, but they are more trustworthy. They are more relatable. And they are far ahead of their peers from Nigeria. That's why they're everywhere. So they have the technical competence, but also have the personal competence of what we call the soft skill, which most of our people lack. They have humility. They know how to stoop to conquer. We don't. And a lot of the time we lie, a lot of lies. Okay? So service export provides an opportunity that any one of us and all of us, especially those of us who are the creatives, can take advantage of. It's not take advantage of it when you graduate. No, it's taking advantage of even while you are there. But if you can't combine, yes, working for money, doing certain jobs while you're in school, that's okay. But I'm saying that services export is the new gold mine. It is. Again, I've explained that. The reason is because you don't need to travel, you don't need visa. It's not regulated by government. Nobody can stop you. It's not quota system. It's not tribal-based. It's not even about your parents or your background. It's about your competence. It's about your competence. It's about your humanity. That's what it is all about. Okay, let's go to the next one. As we begin to round up. Now, I have just given a list of services export, what you can do. Graphic design, yes, you can work for me. If I write in my house, one of my, this is living with me here, finished her youth service just 2 months ago, had a job because the company she worked for wanted to retain her, but she said no, because why? She's working for a company in Europe, but she's engaged with his services export. Okay, she's a web developer, and that's what she's doing. And she's earning in dollars much more than, in fact, twice more than the local company here would have been paying her. She didn't have any adjustment. Like I said again, she just finished her use of just months ago. So digital designs, animation, digital marketing, programming, visual assistance, customer service, you can go on and on and on. All are within the categories of service export. And those of you who are digitally proficient, the world is your oyster. The world is your stage. It's your time. You can't wish any better. Let's go to the next one. The next slide, please. Again, I say why it matters. I already explained it. For instance, for the Southeast youths, those of you are in the Southeast, the Southeast has a large youth population. Large, when I mean large mobile intelligence and smart. And a large population of, people with creative enterprise, really. And the region itself and those who are associated with them are also, you don't need much effort to establish the fact that the entire South has a creative culture, and most of our youth are digital savvy. And there is no university in the country, really, in the country today, that you don't have a large army of people that are digitally savvy. And there's exploding demand for services export. It's a worldwide phenomenon, and it's growing. Again, like I said again, you don't need visa, you don't need to move, you don't need anybody's assistance. All you need is your phone. And if you have a laptop, that's a big one. And connectivity, that's all it takes. And then a service to, an expertise to sell, that's it. You begin to search for the opportunity. Let's go to the next slide. What our youth must do, the creatives, master a skill, become an authority, a subject matter expert there. That's what it takes. Don't be a master of all and jack of all trades and master of none. No, the world no longer works that way. Any domain of life or skill that you can master all, AI can do that, do it much better than yourself. Master a skill, become the reference point there, and then promote it. Upgrade your personality and your mindset. Become a decent human being. Grow character. Don't just talk about Christianity. Embody it in the way you do things. Okay? Shun those who want to hammer and make all the gains overnight. Those who are forever online doing Yahoo, committing crimes and all that. Because why? The world is flat and transparent. There is no crime you commit today that won't follow you the rest of your life. And it will bite you at the most important and consequential time in your life. When it is too late, again, 20 years, 30 years, you have a great opportunity to serve your country or play a major role in the world. And they do a search of your background. And somebody says, what? What? This guy did this kind of thing when he's going home. Then you said it was youthful experience. You said, oh, I didn't know. It won't matter. You carry that cross and burden the rest of your life. And people won't touch you even with a long spoon. Because if the services involve, again, like I said, confidentiality and a certain level of degree of trust, and 99% of businesses you do across oceans and you do export in other countries would require a strong degree of trust. Because you are not there, they are not seeing you. The only connection between you and them is just checking you out and phone call. And also doing a video call and all that. They don't know you. Okay? And then they do fact checking in your community, Google and all that. AI can also do, yes, of course, throw up whatever you think is hidden. So shun criminal things or criminal tendencies or things that you know would stain your reputation, stain your brand, chase you and follow you when you have done all the hard work and it's time for you to scale and then grow. All of a sudden, you discover that you have a big burden that you brought upon yourself just out of carelessness or what you call youthful experience, or because of peer pressure. In school, you have gangs and people that you work, you follow with and share things with in your community, but they are not doing good things. Practice your Christianity, okay? And be light, because that's what you're expected to be, not darkness. Go to the next slide. Redefining empowerment. Now, again, like I said when I started, empowerment is about giving you the enablement for you to make the most of your lives, be free, and then utilize your gifts, serve the world, live a life of service, success, and significance. Make a mark in the world. That's really what it's all about. Empowerment, even your education, is about giving you the capacity and ability to be able to use the gifts God has given you, because you were born with certain gifts and for a reason. Yes, they may be in potential like seeds, which needs to be planted somewhere, someday. The education is about preparing you like you prepare a farmland to, before you start dropping the seeds. Education is to prepare you, but that seed and potential is and scale and trace and after that within you. You get your education, which is like preparing land, like I said again. When you come out, that's when you start to plant, because you have to plant yourself somewhere for you to be able to grow and bear fruits. That's what your education is about. That's what employment is all about. That's what going into business is all about. It's about planting your seed, planting yourself somewhere. Our young panelists talked about reasons why they, started their businesses. One said it was pure interest. Pure interest. One always wanted to do that because it's within. Interest simply means a desire you have. In fact, the nudging sometimes of God Almighty, the wink of God in you. That's, saying this is the direction you should go. Okay. So everybody comes to life with certain seed, and your education is just to prepare you, like a prepared plant, like I said before. Eventually, you have to plant it somewhere. If you get the education, all the skills, all the personal competencies, and then you become a loafer, don't plant yourself, then your seed will not grow, your seed will not bear fruit. Eventually, it will rot. Simple. So you can have all the skills and education, but you must have a way to express it. In fact, most times, our problem is not resources as we choose and prefer to talk about. Most times, the challenge we have in our country and in most developing countries is actually a challenge of resourcefulness. Nigeria is abundantly blessed more than most countries in the world. Most countries that are classified as developed countries that are doing all kinds of magic. Look at Israel, small country, small population. Look at Singapore, small country, small population, and you can go on and on. Yet, we're a large country, over 220 million people, massive lands, fertilized land and all that, resources everywhere, gold and oil and gas and all that. Yet we are poor. Yet we are the headquarters of multidimensional poverty. Why? Lack of resourcefulness, lack of honesty of purpose, lack of leadership, divisive policies that are enacted and implemented because some people have sectional and narrow parochial interests, not because of the good of the country, not because of the future of the country, not because they give a thought to those that are coming after them, after us. Okay? So, redefining empowerment is redefining what we call reasons for empowerment or the variables that make up true empowerment. And I'll say the three variables I've already identified. You need to have technical skill. You need to have personal skills, or what we call soft skills. What makes you a human being? Today in our world, AI, you need to master AI augmented capabilities. That's the only way you can leverage your technical skills, exponentially grow your personal skills, and then take advantages of opportunities, and then be able to play the game at the same level anybody, anywhere is playing, because the world is not flat. It's the same marketplace for everybody. It doesn't matter your location in the world. If somebody is in America is looking for an expert in digital marketing, he won't bother about whether you're resident in America or in Nigeria. He's looking for an expert, the best he can get. It doesn't matter where you are. The three things that would be discovered, be considered, will be your competence, it will be your character, and then, of course, your capacity to be able to leverage the tools, technologies that will make working with you where you're located possible. Because if you have the technical competence and have the personal competencies, but you can't leverage technology to work with that person to provide the service, you won't have the opportunity. Simple. We wanted to start this my presentation. Technology stood in the way because we didn't, before starting, perfect the basic details. Okay. Assuming, for instance, this was an opportunity to make money and it was time for 30 minutes, I would have lost it. Simple. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next slide, please. The next slide actually is closing charges, or the closing charge reading. And what I'm putting it together, what I'm saying is that nothing, everything we're saying here, nothing will ever change in your life until you do. Every change, all change starts from within. Nothing will change here. We can stay here next 5 hours and be talking. Nothing will change until you do. Change has to start from within you, your own personal convictions. Understand that life doesn't just happen. The world, the entire universe, including you, follow certain patterns and follow certain laws. Whether you call it commandments, whatever you call it, you know that day and night come in sequence from beginning of time till today. It doesn't just happen. If you put a certain seed in the soil, depending on that particular seed, a corn will take about average 2 to 3 months. If you plant yam, it will take longer than that, and so on and so forth. These are laws that are inherent in the seed itself. The same thing applies to you. There are laws that govern your life, that govern also guides what we are here for. You can force certain things to accelerate certain things, but there are certain things you can't accelerate. Certain acceleration will be like you pushing an ocean to go faster and it won't go. So, reject shortcuts, especially social vices, financial crime, etc. The reason I'm bringing this up because of your age range. Most people in the universities belong to a certain age bracket, and certain activities happen within certain age brackets. I'm not saying that there are not people in my generation who are also doing those things and messing up. There are even people who are older than me. Okay, but the mass of the people that have a temptation to, pursue things like this are within your age range. And most times you think it's something you can do to today, you forget it and move on. I just want to make money and hit so that I can start this. No, you're actually expressing your core person, the humanity in you. The humanity in you. Okay? So honor your gifts and leverage your competence to live a life of service, success, and significance. A good and prosperous life. Because why? The opportunities are there. All you need is just the competence to do it, the guidance to do it. Partnership, like our panelists. They didn't just start a business, one person on his own, who is the managing director, the general manager, and the megad. No, they recognize that if I have certain competencies, one may be very technically inclined and still have a bit of, because everybody has the personal skills, but there are people who are more inclined, are better, more proficient in the technique, in the personal competencies. For instance, I am more inclined towards the personal competencies. Okay, a lot of them struggle with the technical, depending on the very technical, the nature of the technical skill we are talking about. There are people who are very great in marketing. There are people who can't talk in marketing, is like suicide. There are people who are very logical, who are right-brained. There are also people who are left-brained, who can see tomorrow, today, and who can sense problem coming even before somebody opens mouth. Who can, once they meet you, they can actually read your mind. These are gifts. The important thing is recognizing your gift, recognizing the environment where it can presume. Look for somebody that you can play this game of life with, because it's always better, faster, and easier, a lot better when you work as a team. Most major companies in the US or elsewhere actually discover, when you go back to their history, discover that most of them just started the same way. Two persons coming together, two friends coming together. One person has an idea, the other one has a different skill, and they recognize that it's better to own 20% of a successful company than to own 100% of a failed company. But here, pride, culture, tradition, it can go on and on, push us in always thinking that it's better I own it by myself, own it all, work by myself and become it. And what happens most times is that we start small, stay small, eventually die poor. We start small, stay small. It looks like we are doing well. The day we drop or something happened to us, the business is wiped out. You can go on and on. Of course, even at your age, I'm sure you know so many companies that look like they were big a while ago. Today, they are not anymore, because one person was trying to do is me, myself, and I, and those days are gone. Collaboration is what rules the world today. Partnership is what rules the world today. And it's no longer even about the partnership and collaboration between human to human. We are not talking about collaboration with even the artificial intelligence and the intelligent machines. So we have to recognize that the world is changing. What it takes to succeed, the elements that make success are also changing. Okay, let's go to the next one as I close. And I've said that the future belongs to those who are competent. Okay. So it is your competency that defines you. Go to the next one, because we'll cover that. And we're saying that competence is no longer about you being I'm a computer guru and all that. No, computer guru, yes, is good, but you also need to be a human being. You also need to know how to relate with people, work with people. Sell yourself. Sell this your technical competence, because it's also, if you don't know how to sell it, you won't make money. That's also why you discover that people who invent things most of the time are not always even the people who make the money out of what they invented, because they have technical skill, but they don't have the other skill that creates, the magic and money, or cause people to buy the things you have invented. Okay. And final charges, I said, as you step out of this conference, remember, nothing changes until you do. You are and possess the operant power, because God made you in his own image and after his own likeness. So you have all it takes to make the most of your resources and the gifts he has given you, the advantage of the opportunities that you have before you to serve the world. Yes, you have the opportunity to travel. You can travel to wherever. But if you don't have the opportunity to travel, don't cost your parents. Don't cost your life. Because why? You can play big. Participate in the global market sitting down here in Nigeria. It doesn't matter how remote your village or your location or resident is. You can. As long as you have a phone, you have a laptop, and there's connectivity. You can play with anybody. Okay? And if you've been with me for a while, you notice that this quotation by Osho follows all my email trace. Life does not listen to your logic, and that's true, because life has rules and regulations. Day and night will come, whether you believe it will come or not, whether you waste it or not. 5 years or 4 years in school will come, whether you utilize it or not to pass your exams then and graduate, it will come. If you don't graduate, eventually someday you'll be kicked out of the school. So life goes on its own way, undisturbed. Life will go on whether you follow life, use your opportunities, and eventually grow old and die, whether you like it or not. You will. Okay? So you have to listen to life. Life will never listen to your logic. It does not bother about your logic. Okay? The good news is that transformation begins within you. With you, your mindset, your internal readiness, and all that. It's not outside you. So the much of what you take to succeed in life, to make the best of your life, whether it's in a profession, working for a big company or a small company, or striking out on your own to start your own company and employ people, you have it. It's all within you. It's just a matter of paying attention to yourself, Because why, even as old as I am, okay, I'm still learning, about myself, spending time to learn about myself, my tendencies, my skills. Because in every stage in life, you discover. I call my stage in life now my season, my age of wisdom. Because where I am now, it is time for me, more than anything else, to share my experiences, to teach my lessons, to share my message. I have 4 books. Now, for instance, the 4 books, one is called Your Life is Not a Gift. Your Life is a Franchise, not a gift of grace. Okay, that's the title for one. Is Scaled and Scattered, which talks about much of what I'm talking about here. The other one is titled Success is a Soft Skill, and it is. Okay, and then the last one is Dynamics of Success, because success has certain key elements. It's a system of ideas, competencies, or skills. Your executive function, which again, what I talked about, who you are as a human being, what separates you from animals and every other thing is your executive function, which is deposited in front of, behind your forehead. That's the CEO of your brain, who you are, how you do things. Even this thing we are holding here, if anything happens to you, if you bang your head too bad into a rock or something, and it affects your same function, you just be as useless. In fact, there won't be any difference between you and any animal that is your working. You lose it. You lose the humanity in you. So success is about, it's a system of ideas you have. This conference is an idea. But you have this idea, you need the competence to be able to think through it, organize it. You also need and to think through it and organize it, you need the executive function to be able to do that. And again, if you don't believe in yourself, which is where your self-image is, what idea of who you are is. If you done these 4 things, you won't go far. But when you have these 4 things, you have what we call dynamic abilities, which is the ability, for instance, to sense opportunities, recognize it, to be able to adjust yourself and adapt to different situations, and to be able to use this skill that God has given you maximally to be resourceful. Okay? To be able to have passion for purpose. When Kingsley called me, I paid attention to him, because I've known him, as a kid up to this time. And the first impression I said he was excited. But then the question was, does he have the ability to be able to host this conference? And I asked him, is this the first or the second? Then I asked him to send me a proposal. That was a way for me to text whether he has the ability to understand what he wants to do. He explained it and said, no, put it in writing. Okay? And then I felt his motivation because it's all overflowing. Okay? And eventually, then I paid attention to the attitude to it. And so I knew that these 3 things were in place, because that's really what determines and tells me. Those are the 3-factor checks that I make. Everyone does that too. It's just that you may not necessarily know that you are doing it, but you hardly will ever go into a venture or anything without going through these 3 factors, which is consider that you have the ability to do it. And also ask yourself, what is the motivation? Why am I doing it in the first place? And then also decide, what will it cost me? How? Would I be able to, if there's problem, would I be able to work through it? Those things must be there before you can jump into it. And when I looked at it, I discovered that those things were present there. And then I said, okay, I'm in. I'll be part. Then I considered whether I would have the time to come to your location, because I thought he wanted me to come, and I have other commitments. Oh, no, but then when he said, no, it's online, I said, okay, I'm in. Okay. And I was impressed when he was doing the introduction, highly, highly impressed. I've never seen him speaking like that. I was highly, highly impressed. Okay. So these are the things that must come together. His speech, marketing this program with the kind of positive energy that was expressing, and his presence of mind, these factors, these things are the human factors, the human skills. AI, it doesn't matter the intelligence, so you can never ever replace. Never ever. Never ever. That's what differentiates us. So when somebody says AI is going to take your job, ask the person, which of the job? When somebody says AI will take my job, ask the person, what job? Yes, AI can replicate and do certain things, but what AI can replicate, actually very few. What makes the difference in life, AI can never ever. AI can amplify the skill you have. It can help us make exponential progress and growth. AI can help us, like I said again, sitting down here, serve anywhere in the world. AI can help us. AI can help us find knowledge, intelligence, help us to put it together. If you do the basics, it can help you to now write it more than you would have been able to do. Everybody now knows how to write letter. Everybody now knows how to send proposals. Why? Because AI. All you need is just put the initial ideas. AI will put it together for you. Some graduates, just some months back, that we are applying for jobs I know about. And I was wondering whether they actually graduated and how come they were graduates of what they don't know. Some of them now, I'm reading what they are writing or claim to be writing. Yes, most times I can spot that is AI that's writing, not them. But it doesn't matter. The important thing is that they are leveraging AI to make up, their weaknesses. They are leveraging AI to clean up. They are leveraging AI to present a better personal branding of themselves. They are leveraging AI to be able to, if they have a proposal to do to somebody who is in America, they leverage AI to do it in a way that will present them as experts. That's what matters. And that's why you must, again, like I said again, understand augmented collaboration with AI. You don't have a choice. Okay? You don't have a choice. Okay? Let's go to the next one as I conclude. So I'm saying, in effect, you have the world before you, okay? And with what we have done today, you have the basics that you need. And what you are doing in your school to go forward inspired, to go forward hungry for achievements, and also to go forward determined to win. And it will be my pleasure and honor to serve you as you progress in your journey. I'm sure this won't be our last time we're going to meet again. Again, my apologies for the disruptions when we started. It kind of destabilized me. But I'm sure we've had value for our money, for our time together. And I'm glad that I'm part of this program. Again, let me repeat it. I'm very proud of you. Kingsley, very, 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 very proud of you. Very, very, very proud of you. Truly,
Thank you, sir.
Truly, yeah. And to the audience, I thank everybody. And I gained a lot from your panelists. I also commend them, and that's what it takes, really. Thank you. And if you have questions, yes, I can handle. I'll take some if there's any. Otherwise, I'm done.
Okay. Maybe questions can come later. We have
Okay. One other thing is that just to say, I'm sure maybe you have told them too. I have a 9-page presentation really that is very, very detailed, because what I've done here actually is not properly coordinated, because this PowerPoint is something I just put together very quickly when I realized the fact that I wouldn't be able to do the 9 pages within 30 minutes, which was what I realized that I have. So, but I needed the PowerPoint to guide me. So you have the keynote presentation is actually detailed. I hope you circulate it to everybody here. And if you have a website, then you can also share it in your community. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, sir. And we are really blessed. I think I learned a whole lot from this section. And thank you very much, sir. Having you here is an honor. And thank you for accepting our invitation. I think any other question can come, but we'll have one more section before the night goes. It's already 10:19. And any other questions can be answered later. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so that was a very great section, and I hope all of us will enjoyed this section. Thank you for staying to this point. I really do appreciate. Sorry for the inconveniences. Sorry for the time taking. Is worth it. So we move on to the last section of today. That's the panel section where we are going to speak to people that have put into these things that he talked about into place. People that have built successful brands online, people that have been known for what they are doing, and we have about three of them. Yes, young people like us that have done things in their own personal brand and that build brand across all platforms. So let's have number one. We have Nakristos, a celebrity graphic designer and a YouTuber, and then we have Benita, a data scientist, and then we have Lillian Benjamin, a celebrity social media manager. So I'm going to bring them on stage now. So they are going to speak with us. Welcome, Benita. Welcome, Lillian.
Good evening, Kingsley. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's wait for Nakristos. I think Lillian is having a little bit of network issues, so let me wait for Nakristos to join. So I will wrap up this section. Okay, Nakristos is here. Welcome, Nakristos. Nakristos, hope you can hear me.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Can you hear
So
me?
yes, I can hear you. Okay, so let's get into it. This is a panel section that
Can you
we'll
hear
be
me?
discussing.
Wait.
So okay, this is the panel section that we'll be discussing their strategic brand source. What made their brand stand out in the industry, right? These people are people that have proven to have built a successful brand across the platforms, social media platforms. We have Nakristos, like I said, a celebrity graphic designer. I think if you use Pinterest very well, I think you must have seen his face a couple of times. If you are on Facebook, Instagram, if you have seen him very, very much well. Yes. And then I think when the YouTube rap that was done for this year, the guy was top notch everywhere. His tutorials on YouTube were top notch everywhere, and everything. So we also have Benita, who have been a data scientist. So me, I don't know how data scientists they used to brand themselves, but what I know, she's good. Like she's really good in what she's doing. She has featured in many places, and then she's really well in what she's doing. All right, so you can check them out on different platforms: LinkedIn, social media, Facebook, and Instagram, and then you can connect with them. Okay, I have some few questions I want to ask them, and then I urge us to learn from these questions because it's a panelist section. Is a discussion section. It's not a section where one person will be talking. So I think let me start. I believe Nakrista, I believe you're hearing me.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, that's all right. Benita, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, yes, I can
Okay, let me start.
hear you.
Okay, let me start with you, Nakristos. The first question is, what is your secret? What is your secret sauce? What made you stand out in what you are doing, right? Imagine that 2025 YouTube rap came out and Nakristo was almost everywhere. Everywhere I go, Nakristo's, everywhere I go, Nakristo. Like, what's your secret? Like, what did you do that was different from other people that made you stand out in the industry?
Okay, I can answer, right?
I hope. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Um, okay. I don't really have any secrets, honestly. Um, everything that everything that I try to do is a normal thing that um everybody does actually. But then you have to be, I don't know the word to use, but you have to be different in a way. So uh when it comes to the aspect of YouTube, I noticed that there were rarely YouTube tutorials on design for designers on YouTube by Nigerians. So, and me, I'm a type of person that I like to watch tutorials and all those stuff. So I said, let me start creating tutorials for designers also, because I noticed that as I was designing, many people were now asking me for videos that they want to learn similar things that I was doing and or whatnot. So I now looked at it and then I was like, okay, if personally I go to YouTube to watch videos, and most of the videos I watch, uh like 80% are non-Nigerians, or let me say 99% or 95%, just few Nigerians. Like I could count like two, three, and most times they were not even consistent in creating tutorials. Not that I'm that consistent, but I try to be, because it's not easy uploading videos most times. So I noticed that the ones that were doing it were not consistent, and then majority were not doing it at all. So I saw the loophole, I saw the opportunity, and I started creating tutorials, especially aiming at beginners, because um there's one thing with graphic design is it's an evergreen niche, meaning that in 50 years to come, there'll still be newbie graphic designers, there'll still be new people that want to learn graphics. And so uh when they come and those videos are already there for them to see, then it will be easier for them to tag along. So yes, that was what I did. That was what I saw and I started doing when it comes to YouTube.
Okay, so that was a great answer. I think I learned one thing from it. So find somewhere that you know that for years to come, people will still come back to, and they will still want to learn skills like graphic design. I feel they are skills that can never run out. Yes, they can never run out. In fact, it should be added to basic skills that you should have as a human being actually. So thank you for the answer. So over to you, Benita. I have questions for you. So I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so in building your own brand as a data scientist, what was what's like the widest branding mistake that you have done? Yeah, and you survived. Like you made a mistake in your branding, but survived. Like what was it? How was it like?
Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me, Kingsley.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so before I go into the answer direct, I'm going to make my answers clear and concise and short as possible. Before I go into my answer, I want to let everybody know that you yourself, you're a brand. You don't need to, you know, have a business or I don't know. You don't need to have something to do before knowing that you yourself, you're a brand. Like you as an individual, what do people know you for? What do you do? Do people speak of it? People recommend you for things? So that is that. For the widest branding mistake I've ever made, I think it was thinking I had to be perfect before I could show up. I delayed sharing my project. I delayed sharing anything that concerns what I have to do because I had this imposter syndrome because I was like, oh, people are out there doing better things and I want to share this small project I did. So I delayed this, and my biggest mistake was wasting time trying to look like everyone else I admired. Because if I want to share something, I look at others and I'm like, I wish I can be like this person before I do this. Okay, I'm not posting this anymore. And I delayed it. It cost me visibility early on. But I survived when I realized that my own weirdness is my strength. You don't have to be perfect. What is that thing that makes you weird, and how can you utilize it as your strength? So my authenticity matters more than my perfection. Do you get? So once I embraced that, I started sharing my journey openly, and people actually connected with it. I mean, I've been delaying posting on LinkedIn because I was like, oh, I've not achieved anything. I've not. If I start listing what I have done, but I felt it was small compared to what others were doing. Until I was like, okay, this year I started October. Let me just post something, and I actually did, and people reached out to me. I was like, oh, I love your story. So I think that was how I survived. I just realized that my own weirdness is my strength. I don't have to care about anybody. The process is different, journey is different. Wherever you are, that is fine. Just have to walk towards where you want to be and stop looking at others. Thank you.
Sorry, transmission. Sorry, you are done with the answer, right?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, my network had a little bit issue. But I think I picked one thing from what you said. Waiting to be perfect. I think that was another thing that I also faced. Right, waiting to have let's say the having to know everything before showing up on the internet, right? I think what makes you do it keeps you in a loop, right? In a loop that because the fact remains that you must see something that is greater than the one you have done. That's just it. But once you keep learning and learning and learning, you keep getting better and better and better and better. So that was a very, very good. Sorry, Nakisa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I have another question for you.
All right.
Um, so how did you handle, you know, at the point of building brand, there are some points where you be building and then it's as if nobody's seeing you. You will do some couple of let me say couple of designs you post on the internet and then you're having like one like and the one like is the one that you liked on your own post, right? Or maybe you want to do you did one mad effect or like that, and then you posted and posted and posted. And maybe it's now be you and that your friend that will not like the post. So at that point of nobody is seeing you, like how are you able to handle that those points? Because some people are at those points. I feel that they go into relegation. Yeah, like they draw back because they feel like oh nobody's interested in what I'm doing. Like at those points, how are you able to handle those points?
Okay. Now those points are um it's a moment where you have to take your I think those points are even like the most important when someone is growing or building something because you are not in a position where people are watching you constantly so you can make the mistakes that you can make you can like all the mistakes and everything that um you can try, and like, I don't know if you understand, like, you try and keep trying and trying, even if people are not engaging in what you're doing. So nobody is engaging. It does not mean that you should stop. It's not a sign that you should stop. It means that you are still very early. You are still very early in the journey. All right, you are still very early in the journey. So it's those are your, because if you don't pass through that stage, then you're not actually going to reach the stage whereby people will now be watching. Everybody has passed through the stage whereby they were doing something and nobody was paying attention, nobody was seeing them. It was like they were invisible. All right, so it's not a point where you should now stop what you're doing. All right, is a period where you need to be very consistent and you need to be very observant. So like I said, you need to test the waters and keep trying stuff until you find the one that, okay, resonates very well with your audience, resonates more with your audience. So, and as you're posting, you also need to keep things in mind, like what am I improving with each post? What is being um improved on? So when I started my channel, then I was not talking in my videos. I will just record my phone screen and then I'll record my phone screen and then upload and everything. Sometimes it will be very fast. Then as I was going and going, it reached a point whereby I started talking in my videos. All right. Then from there, I now transitioned to doing videos on my laptop. I now started doing tutorials on my laptop. Then I now started showing my face on my channel. So it's a point, it's a it's a transition process. So you have to start from somewhere. Like Benita said, she said she was waiting to be perfect and she was waiting to be the best at that thing before she started. That's a mindset trap that most people fall into. They want to be very good before they start, but it's not possible. It's not possible to be very good at something before you start. Like, you have to start first before you can improve on that stuff. Do you understand? So um they say practice makes perfect, but practice makes improvement. The more you practice, the more you do that thing, the more you improve. Another thing you need to do is to blind your eyes to the metrics, blind your eye to those okay, you come to your Instagram, you come to your Facebook, and you're seeing 5 likes, 3 likes. Do like you are blind to those metrics and show up like somebody that is having a huge audience. Even if you are seeing 3 people, act like you are talking to 3,000 people, act like you're talking to 30,000 people. That's the way to act. Just fake it till you make it. Do you understand? Fake it till you make it. That's the best way to actually grow. And don't compare yourself to other people. Other people might be having tens and thousands of likes and engagements, but your own is still there. Just don't allow it to bring you down. Keep doing what you're doing, tracking your progress. Keep track of your progress. When you were having 3 subscribers, 4, like that, keep track of that thing. Don't allow it to pressure you, because if you're angry that your post had 100 views, just try to go into a hall and then put 100 people inside that hall and then see the amount of people that are impacting daily.
Okay, thank you, Christos. Thank you for the answer. I think it should be that we should keep trying, keep practicing, and then we will get better with time. So thank you for that answer. So because of time constraints, we'll still have just one more last answer, one more last questions for the both of you before we call it the wrap this night. So Benita, over to you. Just one more last question before we call it a wrap this night. The question for you is, if you were to advise a younger version of you who is starting off in the creative industries, who is starting off in the career path, who is starting off in building skills, What are the things that can you tell the person to do so that the person can get, or what can you advise your younger self to do to be able to achieve, to avoid some certain mistakes that you have done, and then to be able to achieve some certain level of perfection and success earlier of.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So, what will I tell my younger self? First things first, I think the mistakes I made back then, um, they are what shaped me to what I am today. So, I don't think I would have avoided any mistakes, because I think if I had avoided this, maybe I would have not have known that, okay, this thing is like this, or this thing is like this, or you don't have to be, you know, overly nice to get to what you want, or you don't have to do this or do this. So, but one thing I'll tell myself is, one, do the work every day. You have to do your tasks first before, you know, checking your phone. Because once you check your phone, I was a student. Once you check your phone, when it's time for exams, I'm like, okay, let me just check my phone. And then before you know it, 2 hours gone, 3 hours gone. So, but once you do your tasks first before checking your phone, you feel refreshed. Consistency is the secret power. Second thing I would have told myself is, don't delay sharing your work because it's not perfect. I've seen people on Twitter sharing things that I know that I can do better, but every other thing you want is on the other side of shamelessness. You have to be shameless to get what you want. If you're not shameless, I'm sure you will be there. You have to be shameless. So don't wait till it's perfect before you share the things you want to do. Send your project out, you get feedback, and then you go back, you put the feedback in, and then you do better and you do it again. Before you know it, you have people coming to you, oh, I've seen you did this, and you went back, you did this again, and now it's better, can you do this job? Before you know it, you're already in Las Vegas giving talks on data science or whatever you're doing. Another thing is, focus on one thing at a time. Yeah, don't try to be, good at everything at once. It's good to be a master of everything, but then at this young age, when you try to do everything at once, you get, what is the word, I can't remember, but you get stressed. Let me use the word stress. You're like, what will I do? Will I do this? Will I do this? I'm tired, because you keep on doing the same thing every day, every day. Meanwhile, the one thing you're supposed to be focusing on, you're supposed to, keep on improving, doing different things every day. Because some people get bored when they do some same thing every day. And I think that is why people try to do everything, and then you get burnt out. You get, so what you should do is focus on one thing at a time, and try to be very good at that skill. Pick one skill to master, like a month. If you feel like you cannot focus on um just one thing, okay, let's do it. Pick one skill a month, then say no to anything else that might pull your energy away from that goal. Because you focus creates power. Be consistent, be imperfect, be focused, because every other thing you want is on the other side of shamelessness. You don't have to aim for perfection, you have to aim for progress. Thank you.
Wow, I think I learned something for that. Progress, perfection. Pivot on one thing first. Learn one thing first before other things. Right. I think you're also speaking to me at the same time. Okay. Now, Christus, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Just one last question. 2026 is going to be a very good, massive year. We are sure of that. A whole lot of things going to change, both in sectors and industries. So, like, what advice can you give to us on how to plan or how next year going to be for us? Because a lot of things are going to change. New technologies are going to be rolled out. Many things are already coming out in place. So, how do you think that we should embrace this trend, and how do you think we should plan for the upcoming next year?
All right, so 2026 is really going to, like, there are a lot of things that are going to change in 2026. All right, especially approach to work. Approach to work is going to change a whole lot, meaning that we now have a lot of, especially AI. AI is going to be the order of the day in 2026. It's going to be scary to some extent, but we have to adapt to the whole AI. Even as it is now, sef, AI is already doing a lot, and these manufacturers are not stopping. They are not coming down at all in releasing new AI updates every day, every week. You are hearing Google just dropped, Open AI just dropped, this one just dropped. Everybody is just dropping, and they are trying to make AI as real as possible, and everything is just trying to be real. So we have to infuse AI in everything that we do. If you are a designer, you have to infuse AI a lot for your visuals. If you are a if you are a videographer, if you are a um, video editor, the same thing. If you are a writer, copywriter, AI, like AI, you have to learn how to reduce your workflow with the help of AI, or reduce the stress. Like everything has to be easy and snappy, because everybody will be looking for fast work this time around. Like our prof said before, he said location is not a barrier, is competence. So everybody is going to look for speed, and AI is going to help you achieve that. Like before, designers, if we're looking for images to use for design, we have to search different stock image websites and check before you see the one that is even of high quality. But now I can just enter Gemini, or enter Whisk AI, or enter one of the AI tools and tell it what I want, and to generate it immediately, and I'm good to go. So infusing AI, I'm saying AI because AI is like, that's like the, everybody just needs to learn it one way or the other. Because if you've not learned it if you've not learned it next year, as at next year, to be like you are being left behind. All right. And another thing is taking your social media serious. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Another thing is taking your social media serious. All right. Um, social media is the way to go now. Like, is the main way to go now, especially in terms of content creation and video content creation as well. Um, um, YouTube, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Like everybody resonates with videos more, and you see that most of the thriving content creators. In fact, you cannot be tagged the content creator if you are not even making videos, because that's the content. So most of the thriving content creators are usually video, like they create videos. All right. So I'm just trying to cut down stuff because of time. Another thing is storytelling through your videos. All right. And um you need to build yourself also as a brand or as a business in 2026, meaning that you need to show yourself, you need to create videos, like I've been saying, show your face, talk to the camera, document your journey, share your ideas. That's one of the goals I've set for myself personally. I set it for myself 2025. I tried to do to some extent, but then I was not consistent. I was limited by my mind, by myself personally. So it's something that personally I want to improve on, because I've already started. So uh like my co-speaker said, should not wait to be perfect. So I've been waiting to be perfect, get the perfect lights, get the perfect mic, get the perfect camera. But the funny thing is that the internet doesn't really care if you're perfect or not. They just want to see you do something. All right. So um that would be it for from my side.
Okay, thank you, Na Christos. That was a very wonderful answer. And I know that to our viewers, our participants, they are taking note of these points that have been made, and then so that you can imply it to yourself and to help yourself come 2025. So I don't know, Benita, do you have any other last thing to say before we end this section?
I don't have any other thing to say. I have nothing.
Okay. So thank you very much, Benita. Thank you very much, Nakristos. It was indeed a very good interactive section. I learned a whole lot from this. I don't know. Our viewers
Sorry,
also have,
Kingsley.
yeah.
Okay, I saw some questions.
Okay, some questions.
Somebody asked, are there skills you need to learn before going into data analysis as someone starting from the scratch?
Oh, wow.
Well,
Sorry. It's,
sorry, can I just answer that question?
yes, go on. Sorry that I skipped the comment section. Sorry. Yeah, go on.
Oh, it's fine. So for skills you need to learn as someone starting from the scratch, there are many resources online. We start with something simple. I'm in the data science route anyway, but for data analysis, you can start with Excel. Try knowing Excel. Excel might look simple until you start it. I promise you, Excel is not that simple. So try knowing Excel. Just check online, look at the data analysis tools you're supposed to know. There are many resources online. What people want to do is to pay for, courses of 300k, 200k, so that's like, oh yes, I'm learning from this place. These things are free online. So just make use of your Google. Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
someone
There's
was, yeah, Nakristos, go on.
okay, there's a question I wanted to answer from Chukudi Success. She said, how did you survive the low reactions to your post when you started posting? So for me though, personally, okay, I actively posting in 20 during the lockdown, sha. That's when I started YouTube, and I had Instagram then, no, but I was not like it was just for pictures and everything. So it was when I now came, I now had to delete those, those shenanigans now. You just come and be posting selfie on Instagram and all those things. So I had to like restructure the Instagram, and then as so personally, I didn't really focus so much on I didn't really focus so much on um the the views and the likes that I was getting. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on.
All right. So I in fact I was not really a priority for me, or I wasn't really focused on that, because not because of anything though, but because like I just wanted to show my work, and that is the mindset that everybody should have. Like, don't be posting it for other people, just post for yourself at the beginning points. All right. So I was just posting, and because if you're always thinking of what people will say, mine, trust me, they are not thinking about anything. Most people even like the fact that you are not as like there's a sense of okay, there's how people can relate with you if they see that you are not all perfect. I don't know if you understand. Like, there's a reason people like TikTok very well, and it's because people can go there and just be themselves, put camera, and so people like to see that other people are actually not as professional as they look. I don't know if you do you understand me that part, or should I break it down?
Okay, me, I understand though, and I think person will, but if not, let's wait for the comments. If not that,
Okay, so people people just want to see that you're posting, and I noticed it on this thing. They don't really care about how perfect or okay, somebody said I should break it down. So um okay, if you want to watch a video now, there are five. You want to watch a video on how to make videos, and what you have now is your phone, only your phone, and you see five videos, and the first video is how to make YouTube videos with a high-end camera. You see another one, how to make YouTube videos with, let me say you don't have an iPhone, and you see one with how to make YouTube videos with iPhone 17, and you now see one how to make professional YouTube videos with your Techno phone. Which one are you likely to click on more? Is the one that you relate with more, which is the how to watch YouTube videos, how to create YouTube professional YouTube videos with your Techno phone. That's the one that you watch, you probably click. And majority of people are in that same boat, because it's not everybody that may have the money to buy a top tier iPhone or a top tier camera. So majority of people are still in that stage of owning, let's say, a budget smartphone. And so that's the video so they want to see that other people are okay. If somebody can create this thing with less resources like this, that means me too, I can actually do something like that. So um um for the question, just remove your mind from the whole social media low reactions and everything. Like I said before, if you have 10 likes, just imagine 10 people in a room and you're talking to them. That's just how to visualize it. Don't post for the validation of social media, but for your own growth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. Then Benita, I think I have somehow another question for you. So the question says, the part you mentioned about posting on LinkedIn for more visibility, does it mean that you have to post every little milestone you achieved? So I don't know if you got the question.
Okay. So for that question, I think you should know how LinkedIn works. I'm not really a fan of it. So like I'm the worst person to ask that question. But yeah, you see everyone posting everything they've done, what they learned. Two-Face might be fighting with his wife, and you see 5 lessons you can learn from this and that and that. That is a post. Anything you can post, but let's be reasonable. Let's LinkedIn post before LinkedIn. Let Twitter post, because the way you post on LinkedIn is not the same way you post on Twitter. The way you post on Twitter is not the same way you do it on Instagram. So let LinkedIn post really before LinkedIn post. And if you achieve anything, see post it. But if you go to my page, you will not really see anything, just one post. I'm not really the type that used to post a lot, but now that I'm currently looking for something, I'm going to be posting a lot. So so just post everything you've achieved, what you did, what you learned. You were working on the Kickstone. I learned so thing from. Post everything, let people see you. So I think that is everything for me.
Okay, thank you for the question. So we should keep on posting, but at the same time, should be sensible in posting so that you not post what not supposed to be online, and then so it's not backfire at you as well. Okay, so I have one last question. Oh, it's almost 11 o'clock. We'll soon close now. So the person asked, since you should keep building online, so how will you know when you're making a mistake? When nobody's paying attention to you? Maybe let me see, yeah, let me say for instance, let me designing for instance. You are making some designs, probably it's not giving, or that is not upgrading, something like that. So how do you know when you're making mistake, and when nobody's paying attention to me, when you're posting and then you're not getting engagement and everything? So how do you know that you're making a mistake?
So there's something I said. Can you hear me?
Yes, Lord and care.
So there's something I said earlier. Post whatever you're learning, post online. Like I said, every other thing you want is on the other side of shamelessness. That progress you want is on the other side of shamelessness. If you're feeling too shy to post something because you feel like it's not good, or you don't know if you made mistake or not, just post it. You cannot post for 365 days and be unlucky for 365 days. That is not possible. when you stop working on something because you feel like it's finished, but then like in your mind, in your guts, you know that this thing can actually be sharper or clearer or better. You should do that. Don't just say, okay, let me just pause this on since I'm still building. You know that you can actually do better than this, because your gut will always tell you when this is this or this is that. So when you know that you can actually do better than this, post it. And then you ask yourself also, if I had to show this to the one person I respect the most, let's assume you're looking up at you're looking up to um let's say Tony Elumelu, and then you are writing a business proposal, and then you see this, and I'm like, if I had to show this thing to Tony, do you think he will be proud? Like, will I be proud of this? If your answer is no, keep working. Keep working. Also, there's also something someone said. They call it the comfort zone mistake. Sometimes your practice or your work sessions will feel easy every time because you are not doing enough. You are just in your comfort zone. You're feeling like, okay, this is good, this is good. Like, you're feeling busy, but you don't feel tired or stretched. Your skills today are the same thing as tomorrow, as the same thing as next tomorrow, as next month, as last month, the same thing. That is not the way to build. Spend like 10% or 20% of your time working on the hardest part of your crafts. If it feels comfortable, too comfortable, trust me, you're making a mistake. Yeah, it's not supposed to feel comfortable. Also, prioritize your sleep. Oh. Let's not be like you heard it from Benita. You should not sleep because something is not comfortable. Please sleep. But if it feels too comfortable, you're just making a mistake, because real growth lives just outside of your comfort. It's not in your bedroom, or it's outside of your comfort, on the other side of shamelessness. That's when you know that, oh, I'm actually doing something better. So I don't know if what I've said is enough. If you got something from there, thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Benita. That was an interesting answer. And thank you very much. I don't know. Now, Christos, I think that's all. Or do you have any other thing to add?
Okay, I don't really have anything to add again. I'm done.
Okay, no problem. So thank you very much, now Christos. Thank you very much, Benita. Indeed, the saying that the bottom pot is sweeter than the top is quite true. Thank you for this powerful section, and thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so thank you everyone for being part of this program, the Creative Conference, Day 1, 2025. I really do appreciate. Sorry for all the inconveniences that caused. Sorry for the technical jargons that was that we encountered today, but I'm glory to God. So thank you very much for joining. Tomorrow we're going to be having special speakers and speaking to us. We'll be having Miss Chinyere Otuonye. We'll be having Mr. Solomon Ayodele, the head of product and technological innovation in Wema Bank Nigeria. We're going to have him speaking to us. We're going to have other dignitaries speaking to us, and then we're going to be learning a whole lot from them. So please stay tuned. Thank you for staying to this much. Have a good night's sleep, and I pray that the Lord will be with you. I pray that you're going to sleep very well and wake up tomorrow healthy and happy. So thank you very much. Thank you. See you next time. See you tomorrow by 8 o'clock p.m. Thank you.